Hey, it's me, it's Kira. It's been a minute, but I wanted to film a video for you guys. I might split it into two videos. I don't know yet what I'm doing because one part of it would be an eyeshadow look and the other part of it would be like an actual face makeup, because right now all I have on are my brows and mascara, just from earlier today. But I wanted to kind of do a new face, so I took off the makeup that I had and I'm just gonna kind of start off with moisturizing my face, just to kind of have a good base. I wanted to share some new products that I got, so I kind of wanted to go through that part. Mostly is to share those new products that I got from the Ulta Beauty Day sale. That's like one of the only times that I buy like higher end products is when they're on like the 50% off, just because they're such a good deal. Like I just can't pass it up. So if there's something that's been on my wish list for a long time that I've always wanted to try, I keep an eye on that, and if it's on sale I usually end up getting it. So that's something I wanted to share. Just a couple items. I really didn't buy a ton, but I did want to showcase the Halo Glow Tinted Moisturizer. I've been wanting to try this for a long time. It's from Smashbox. I've heard great things about it. I watch a lot of different content creators for makeup that enjoy this, and a lot of the ones that enjoy this are similar. They enjoy similar products that I do, and so I figured I would probably like the product. But I wanted to try it out and see if it was worth like the money. I think on sale it was like between 20 to 25. I could be wrong, because I think normally it's around $40. So I think if this was around 20, just over that probably. And I just bought it in store. So, but anyway, I got the shade Fair Light. I think this is like the lightest shade, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but I'm almost positive I got the lightest shade. So I'm gonna start off with that. All I did was put on a moisturizer. I don't really need to prep more than that, at least right now, just because it's nighttime. I don't really need to do. The one thing I did notice is this kind of goes a longer way than I thought it would. I'm gonna use a beauty sponge. I just got this one and it's very, it's dirty just because I use it for like my base makeup. I have the Halo Glow that I usually use this with, and then some of my other foundations or skin tints, so it's a little bit dirty right now, but it's actually a new sponge. I just started using it a couple days ago, so I haven't recently washed it just because it's like brand new. I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit with my finger because I find sometimes that can give a more even spread. This is a skin tint, so again, it is very light. However, I love this. I know it seems silly because it really doesn't seem to give a ton of coverage, but in my opinion, it gives the coverage that I like, to where your skin still looks like your skin, but it does give like a really healthy glow. So this is one layer with the amount that I got, and that's with a sponge. So obviously if you use a brush, it does give more coverage in my opinion, because I do think it soaks in a little bit. Obviously you can see on the sponge that it does soak up the product. So if you don't like that, then you can use obviously a different method of applying it. Usually a sponge is my preferred method, just because I feel like it gives a more seamless look to my skin and it keeps it more hydrated, because I have more dry skin. I do want to layer another layer just to see what it looks like with a little bit more, and I do want to use like a brush just to kind of show you. Sorry, I should have gotten that prepared before. I'm gonna go around and see which one I want to use. I'm trying to decide what foundation brush. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna use this. This is just like the Right Techniques. It's one of their flathead brushes. I'm just rubbing it out just to kind of, I haven't used this one in a minute, so I'm just getting some more product. I think I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. I like this because it's not super thin, so it's kind of a thicker, like I would say the moisturizer kind of is a good name for it, because it is a little bit thicker. It's not super runny, but it does give kind of that tinted moisturizer coverage. But see, if with the brush it's already giving more coverage than it had previously, and obviously I'm layering on the coverage. You might not be able to tell a difference as much, especially with my lighting. I'm sorry, I don't have professional lighting still. Maybe one day I'll get that, but it's just not been a priority for me. But as I'm putting this on, it is so smooth and it is so pretty. Like, it is just that nice, kind of like a natural, healthy glow on my skin, like you can kind of see in the light. And honestly, that was like a really small amount in my opinion. I feel like this will last you a long time, just with how big the bottle actually is. I don't know, I feel like it's such a good deal for what you get. It's 1.4 fluid ounces, which is a typical, I feel like a pretty typical size for foundation. It seems like there's a lot of product in there, but I guess, you know, it's a different shape than I normally have. But it does have the broad spectrum, the sunscreen of the SPF 25. So that's also nice to have that additional SPF. I almost always use an SPF, at least in the morning. Since we're nighttime and I'm not planning to go outside, I'm not going to use an SPF right now, but normally I do use one throughout the day. So this is the full look as far as just having the moisturizer on. I really do like the amount of coverage it gives. I like that it's very natural. I do like the glow that it gives. I feel like it evens out my pores. Like, they look pretty good for it being a glowy product. And my skin tone is very evened out. I have a lot of redness in my face, and I feel like it really evens out a lot of that. Obviously, you can still see my blemishes. I have a nice little breakout in a few different spots that you can see, and some scarring like on my jawline and stuff that you can still see, which it doesn't bother me too much. A lot of it is mostly the redness that I like to kind of even out my skin tone, is more of what I like in a coverage foundation. I don't need it to cover everything, but it does. It has such a natural look to it. So I highly recommend this if you have like drier skin and you do like a lighter coverage option. Highly, highly recommend this. I honestly don't know if I would purchase it outside of the sale, because it does remind me a lot of the True Match, the L'Oreal True Match like tinted serum. It does give a very similar effect in my opinion. And so I don't know if I would purchase it, because it's about the same price as this. This is normal price is just around $20, whereas this on sale was around $20, if not just a little bit pricier. So I think I would only purchase this when it's on the 21-day beauty sale, but not saying that it's a bad product. I just think I can have the L'Oreal tinted serum. It seems to act very similar on my skin. So I did earlier, I used the e.l.f. Halo Glow under this. I usually use it under this because it does give a little bit teeny extra coverage, which I like, and then a little bit of extra glow. And it wore well with this underneath as you know, on top of that. So I definitely think that's another option. If you like using the e.l.f. Halo Glow, I think you could still use it under this, and it's still not too glowy in my opinion. I think I'm just gonna kind of finish a lot of the base really quick, and then maybe we can go into an eye. Oh my goodness, concealer is going everywhere. I do have the other things that I bought was, I'm just using my finger honestly for some concealer. I don't really need, I'm just spreading this out. I'm trying to use up this LA Girl concealer. It's a little bit light, and so I have my days where like I like it because it's very brightening, but then other days I don't like it because it's too light for me. I go back and forth between liking a lighter concealer and between using one that's more of just my skin tone that looks more natural. But I love the coverage. It gives a decent enough coverage, and it probably is very shadowy right now again with the lighting, but not a bad product. I've used this a lot in my videos, and it's so affordable. Again, I wore this on my wedding day, so if that tells you anything, I personally really like it. I think it gives a pretty good coverage, more of a natural, like medium, light to medium coverage maybe. Probably more of a medium coverage. But anyway, I'm gonna use the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer just because I want a quick powder bronzer today. Let me see if I can, I'm gonna use this. This is like a blush brush normally, but I'm gonna use this on my forehead just to kind of use. I love the smell of this product. It smells so good. I know I'm kind of using a lot of bronze, but that's okay. This is the one product I honestly won't be surprised if I hit pan on. I mean, you can't really see it, but there is a good dent in this. I use this a lot. Just because it's such an easy product for me to use, and honestly, the tone is perfect for my skin tone. Because it's like a reddish brown. I know a lot of people really disliked that skin tone and disliked the tones and colors for these, but I love it. This was in the shade Buttercup. I know last time I looked, I couldn't find this shade online, but I could just be crazy. Like, I haven't looked in a minute, so I don't know if they discontinued that specific shade or if they still have this available. I'm not quite sure, but I thought this was one of their lightest shades that you can get. And then I'm going to use the Cheek Squad from Ulta Beauty, just the pink cream face like palette. I'm gonna use the pink blush here just to add a little bit of that blush. Super pretty. I wore this earlier today as well, and it's so cute. It gives a very pink pop of pink color. I use this a lot for like my more cool toned looks, just because I think it goes really well with them. And I like a lot of blush, so don't come for me, because usually when you put on like powder and everything, by the end of that, it like always blends out. I usually, well, not usually, sometimes I add my concealer after blush because then it blends out a lot more and it looks more seamless. I know I mentioned that before, and then if I need to, I always just dab with a sponge. But I think that's the majority of my complexion. Again, I don't want to go too in depth. I do want to add some eyeshadow primer or an eyelid primer just to prep my eyes, and then I'm actually going to do a lippy because I want to show you the other product I got from the Ulta Beauty sale, and then if I decide, maybe I'll end the video and start a new video, because again, I'm not into editing right now. I don't have the time or effort or knowledge to like do that at the moment. Maybe one day I'll get into editing my videos, but I feel like that's too much on top of my normal job and being a mom. So anyway, I'm probably not going to do that right now. But I do want to show some of the new products I got. Let me see. So I got 2 lip pencils from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that's another one where I probably wouldn't purchase on a normal basis because of the price. I actually really love these lip liners. They're not overly expensive. I think they're in the $20 range, 20, 22, 25, something around there. Normally, like full price. So on sale, this was, I think this was $11. So I think it's normally around $22 for a lip pencil. I already had one lip pencil that I really liked and enjoyed. I got on sale in like a lip combo product. And I loved it. So this is the one I've had. It's in the deep taupe. So this is about as much as I've used. This is the normal product. So this is a new one. This is the old one. So I mean, I've used the majority of it, and I haven't had it for very long. So that tells you that I do tend to like that color, and I use it a lot. Where is the other shade I got? I got 2 shades. So I'm trying to find in my lip. I have my little handbag, and I have like a million lipsticks in it, and all my lip liners, and then all my like debit cards and like mascara. This is my on the go purse. So I got 2 colors. So I have loved both of them. I did go in store to swatch shades because I saw so many online. I was like, oh, I think I'll like that. And then I wanted to be sure, and I have an Ulta right by my house. So I was like, okay, I need to just go and get it. So I love both of them. This one is called Stormy, and it's like a cool kind of gray tone, gray mauve-y tone, and I love it for the fall and like winter especially. It will be super nice. And then this one is cinnamon. I think it's also more of a cool brown color. For whatever reason, I really do like cool. I mean, I'm assuming it's cool. I think it's a cool tone, but sometimes I get my cool tone and warm tones. I don't know if I'm actually correct, but I'm pretty sure these are cool tones. And they just go really well together. So I'm going to show you the swatches on my hand. So this is Stormy. That's like a gray mauve tone. I know it looks kind of weird on the camera. And then this, it looks better in person as well. It's kind of chocolatey. So it's like a chocolatey brown. I would say cinnamon is a good color for it. But these two together, it looks so good. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use cinnamon more on the outer edge. And that's usually what I've done is I line like on the outer edge with the cinnamon color. And then depending on what I want to do, I usually do go in on the bottom. I know it looks like a lot. I know it looks really dark, but it is so pretty. And then I use this one, Stormy, like all over. The only thing is these are long wearing, and they are a pencil, and I find that sometimes pencils are more of that waxy, like harder to, and we'll have doing it, harder to blend. So like it will blend with your finger, but I do like to moisturize sometimes and give a little bit of either a chapstick or some kind of moisture on my lips to kind of mush it all together and make it move around a little bit more. I know a lot of people, or some, I don't want to say a lot because I don't know if that's the right wording I wanted to use, but I know that the reason, you know, is because it's so long wear, so it is like a matte, a matte pencil. But it does just glide a lot better when you have that like creamy base. So that's kind of the majority of what it looks like. I feel like it doesn't do justice. So this is again that more gray tone. If you want it to be darker, I sometimes do the edges. Sorry, I am like overdoing it now on the lip liner. And I just rub them together. So this is a super pretty lip combo. I think it is perfect. Sorry, I keep looking at it. Perfect for fall, honestly, in my opinion. Depending on what I do, I've done both of these by itself, and then I combine them as well. So whatever color that you're kind of looking to, I love that you can combine them really well. And again, they're very long lasting if you don't put anything with it. Obviously, if you put some kind of moisturizer or chapstick or anything like that, it's gonna slide more, and so it will transfer. It's not that it's not transfer, or it is transfer. It's not transfer proof. Is that the wording I'm trying to use? It does transfer. But if you want it to last longer, then you just don't use some kind of moisturizing agents. So I do like that. I also like to add, sorry, I had popcorn before I started this video, and I'm like getting popcorn kernels. I hate that. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. lip oil just because I often use some kind of gloss on top of my lip looks. If it's like, especially if it's like a quick look, or if I'm not going to too many places and I don't need it to last long for work, Normally I try to keep it more of the matte look so that it lasts longer throughout the day, because that way I don't have to reapply too much. Because if anything, I only sometimes take a break, and when I take a break, that's when I would reapply it. But anyway, long story. Okay, well, this is the final look of my new face products with the Smashbox, the Halo Glow, and then the 2 new lip products that I got, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I highly recommend these. The Ulta Beauty Day sale is over, so I kind of missed that opportunity for people if they wanted to get it on the sale day, but they have the Ulta Beauty sale, you know, throughout the year, so that's something you will have an opportunity again. So I highly recommend to jump on it, or just get the products in general. I think they're great, and if you like high-end products and don't mind spending the money, then go for it. But for me personally, I would just wait until the sale. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this part of the video. I'll probably post this separately, so from the other one, and then the other one is gonna have this look with whatever eye look I end up doing. Thanks, good to see you, bye.